Alright, dude, well, it's time. Shut up! I'm not worried, you're worried! I haven't said anything. Freddy's fine, and even if he's not McElhaney, he's fine. Is there something you want? What are they waiting for? Call up Sparks already! Are you alright, Steven? Freddy's fine. Hi, everyone. Hello! Austin Matthews!
Moto! Wonder Dream! And
Well, time for a rebuild.
this team is ruining my life!
He's fine. Leafs lose 5-2 to the Buffalo Sabres. We'll talk about the game, then we'll have a conversation. First period, you can't even get mad at this. This is just a fantastic goal. Tyler Ennis sets up Ryan O'Reilly in front. He just beats a sprawling Freddie, and it's 1-0. Beats a stick in the pills. 2.5 minutes later, in front of the Sabres net, Robin Leonard down and out. Downtown Connor Brown gets his 18th to match Ryan O'Reilly. Connor Brown, that's a rookie, by the way. And it's a tie game, 1-1. And he gives a tap on the glass for the Leafs fans there for the Leafs home game in Buffalo. And they tied it up and they showed some fight, and this game's gonna go fine. 15 seconds later, Alexei Marchenko is not hard enough on Evander Kane in front. He bangs it in and it's 2-1 Sabres. But you know what? The Leafs aren't hopeless in this one. Okay, Connor Brown tied it up quickly, and even though they didn't respond right away to the Evander Kane goal, they're still in this one. They're down 1 to Buffalo after 1. That's no big thing to worry about. First intermission ends, the second period starts, and Curtis McElhaney is in net because Freddie Anderson is either sick or hurt. Oh my god, what did you do? Is it because it's the Leafs? Is it because it's the Leafs? Here we go, pushing that boulder up the mountain. Freddie's done, the season is done. Why can't the hockey gods of the Leafs have anything? Now that that's out of the way, the Leafs are still only down by 1 goal. 2 minutes and 22 seconds into the second period. How appropriate that it's 2 minutes and 22 seconds in, because number 2, Matt Hunwick, with a fantastic play at the blue line to keep the play alive. Nylander back to Hunwick, who puts it on. Matthews with the tip, doesn't go in. Leonard stops it, but he gets the rebound, scores his 34th. Austin Matthews tying Wendell Clark for the Leafs rookie goal scoring record. 34 scores his 34th. That's his champagne goal. He calls himself Poppy. Champagne Poppy. Tie game. Everything's fine. I told you. Matt Martin interference call. Okay, thanks, Matt. Sabres on the power play. It's only been 27 seconds since Matthews tied the game. Kulikov to Jack Eichel. Blasts it. And this is when I became concerned. McElhaney has had a good season. But if you look back in his career, not as good as this season. But hey. Task at hand. He's been good this season, and he's been decent enough for the Leafs. And then you see this goal, and you're just like, oh, Jack Eichel's goal is here. And Curtis McElhaney, well, he ain't there. He didn't look screened. He looked square to the puck, and just beat him. And it's a great shot. It's a great shot. You're going to face great shots. I want you to stop a couple great shots! Only a few minutes later, Sabres on the power play again. Maybe stop giving those to them. And Dmitry Kulikov, instead of setting up the power play goal, blasted in himself. Another blast, and now it's 4-2. Sabres doubling up the Leafs. Now, we had an example of 2 blasts that, McElhaney had trouble with, but any goalie is going to have trouble with a blast that fast. Over halfway through the second, Eichel gets the puck again, and he throws a muffin on net that goes in 5-2. And then he did a cute little thing. He did a little thing. He banged on the glass where all the Leafs fans were. And then the Sabres said, Jack Eichel is all of us. What's that? Not in a seat in the arena? But hey, let them have this one. Just this one. They beat the Leafs fair and square. The Leafs didn't get much going in the third period at all. You can't blame the lack of offense on Curtis McElhaney. And the Leafs lose the game 5-2. Now, here's where we are. Seeing a lot of Leaf fans panicking, complaining about all kinds of things that don't actually matter. A lot of people ripping on the Leafs having Ben Smith, not calling someone up. Okay, Eric Fair got hurt, Josh Leva got hurt, Sasha's hurt, Ben Smith is there. I know he was on the ice for at least one of the goals, one of which I wouldn't call his fault, I would call it Marchenko's. Plus, I'm seeing panic over Curtis McElhaney. Ironically, we just talked about all this, okay? We're happy that he's done well, but we're still kind of like, I don't know. But as a backup goalie, as a backup Aney, you got to be able to come into your game and give your team a chance. Well, it was 2-1 when he came into the game. Matthews tied it, and I'm not sure he gave his team the best chance. But I'm also not sure the Leafs gave the Leafs the best chance to win in this one. They didn't look great, did they? And I saw a bunch of people like, oh, I can't wait to watch this one. Yeah, thanks, you bunch of sadists. I think sometimes with a young team, you got to give them something that you give young people very often. An allowance. We've seen it with this team over and over and over again. Sometimes You just gotta get your ass kicked every now and then. 5-2 is not exactly an ass kicking, but it's not exactly a decent loss. You got beat. Last time the Leafs got their ass kicked, it was a 7-2 beating at the hands of the Florida Panthers. And since then, 5-0 win against Tampa, 2-1 overtime loss to Chicago, 4-2 win over Boston, huge, 5-2 win over Columbus, huge, 4-2 win over New Jersey, until 5-2 loss to Buffalo. By my count, the Leafs are 7-2-1 in their last 10. They are 7-3-2 in the month of March. You're not going to win every game. I would like them to look better than they looked in this game, even in the losses, but you're not going to win every game. You got 2 days off before you face Florida on Tuesday. On Sunday, getting a little practice on Monday, and then you take it to the Panthers, who kicked your ass 7-2 last time on Tuesday. And you're on home ice. My goodness, you get to sleep in your own bed. Isn't this wonderful? Now, the elephant in the room. Freddie. So, I had some people talking to me and some people tweeting me, hey, it kind of looks like it might have been a lower body injury based on how the first 2 goals went in. Then, you get it coming out on the broadcast that, it's an upper body injury. And right away I'm like, his shoulder! He hurt his shoulder in the preseason, oh my god! And then you see tweets like this from reporter Chris Johnston, and you're like, okay, well the head is the upper body. It's the uppermost body. So, we don't exactly know what's wrong with him. It doesn't seem to be a particularly serious or long-term issue, but it could be an issue. Could keep him out Tuesday. Who knows? Maybe it keeps him out Thursday. Who knows how long it keeps him out for? Point being, the Leafs may need to rely on Curtis McElhinney, and if he falters, they may need to rely on someone else. Now, Antoine Bibeau has played in a couple games for the Leafs this season. I thought he looked decent in those games this season. However, allow me to present this information to you. Here are Garrett Sparks' stats on the season. Even though he has not played the most games, he has been one of the best goaltenders in the American Hockey League. Now, here is Antoine Bibeau on page 3 out of 3. So, you got Garrett Sparks, who currently has the 3rd best save percentage in the entire American Hockey League, and you got Antoine Bibeau, who has the 7th worst. Steve, weren't you just telling us that Garrett Sparks is hurt? I did tell you that. But yesterday, the Marlies played Springfield, and Sparks stopped 28 of 29 shots en route to a Marlies victory. He stopped all 4 shots he faced in the first period, LOL. He stopped all 16 shots that he faced in the second period, and he stopped 8 of 9 in the third. Now, I just think it's been a really unfortunate whirlwind that Sparks hasn't played on the Leafs this season. Didn't exactly leave the Leafs with the best reputation last year, kind of helped with the whole tank thing, and then there was the suspension earlier in the season. Bibeau got some opportunities that maybe Sparks would have got a few months ago. But, and a lot of people don't really give Sparks the credit for this at the end of the season, he was playing hurt. Prior to Sparks' call-up for the miserable stretch run for the Leafs at the end of last season, he was one of the best goalies in the AHL. This season, he is still one of the best goalies in the AHL. If you're going to call up anybody, it's Garrett Sparks. Nothing against Antoine Bibeau. Garrett Sparks is currently the better goalie. So much so that I wouldn't even mind him getting a shot as the Leafs backup next season. But he hasn't played any time in the NHL this season, so that makes it so much more difficult. So I will say, if the Leafs need to call up someone, and McElhinney needs to start those games, I think it should be Sparky. And if the Panthers light up McElhinney 7-2 on Tuesday, and Freddie's still not good to go Thursday, might be worthwhile to give Sparks a shot. We also might be panicking, and this might be nothing. You know what? Let me let you look at the standings. Here they are, okay? Here they are. It's super tight. It's super tight if the Leafs want to stay 3rd in the Atlantic. It's super tight if the Leafs even want to stay in a wild card spot. It's super tight. Welcome to the playoff drive, folks! With or without Freddie, the Leafs have 8 games remaining on the season. That's 16 points up for grabs. I know it's the Leafs, but I'm putting my damn foot down. They are not losing all 8 games. And in the event that they do, I'm sure some of them will not be in regulation. Let's say Boston, who is only 1 point behind the Leafs, let's say they pass them. The Leafs have a 3-point cushion on the Islanders and a 4-point cushion on Tampa, plus the other teams. In their final 8 games, the Leafs don't even necessarily have to post a better record than those guys to make it. For some reason, people have been throwing up the 94-point threshold. All right, let's look at that. Let's say the Leafs go 4-4 in their final 8, and that gets them to 93 points. That's shy of 94. Well, a record of 6-2 gets the Islanders there. A record of 6-1-1 gets the Lightning there. The Hurricanes and Panthers have to basically run the table and pray. But, head in your own boat. Run your own race. You've won games with Curtis McElhaney before. You've won games with Freddie Anderson before. You may still come back. Hell, you've even won games with Garrett Sparks before, and you damn sure were not as good of a team as the one that he had to play behind last season. You're way better. You're way better this time. As Roberto Osuna's walkout music says, don't panic. We don't cheer for the Leafs, we cheer for the Leafs! This is a different team, a new time. Didn't you see Austin Matthews set a record? Haven't you seen Mitch Marner set a record? Haven't you seen William Nylander set a record? Hell, that guy might even lead the team in points! This is a different team. We're almost there. DeMar DeRozan told Toronto that he's got us. Someone on the Leafs, through their performance, needs to say that they got us over the next 8 games. That's it. So that is it for this one. Thank you very much for watching. Click like if you like this video. Click subscribe if you really liked it. Tell all your friends. And with or without Freddie, are you in? Because I don't know if you looked at the standings, but the Leafs still are.